Yeah. Keep America weird again, motherfuckers. And welcome to the First Agnostic Church of Hope and Wonders umpteenth presentation of cats. In the beginning, man wondered to himself, he said, why am I even here? And yet, with each asking of this question, the answer would become even less clear. Overwhelmed by fear, it seemed like distraction would take its place. And so it must have been in the world's first shelter that we began the human race to fill up more and more empty space. And oh, how we loved the human race. Until one day this one guy says to this other guy, he says, hey man, have you seen this guy over here? It seems like he's got more than anybody else got. Man, to me, that just doesn't seem fair. Well, the second guy agreed with the first guy. Everybody else did too. They all got so worked up that they figured they knew what they needed to do. They would divide all of his stuff up among each other. After they killed him, of course, for they could see no real good reason not to just take whatever they wanted to by force. But when they found him, he said, hey, wait a minute, fellas. I wouldn't kill me just now. You can see that I got more than any of y'all got. Don't you first at least want to know how? And with that, he had their attention. And with that, he went on loud and clear. He said, y'all know how long we've always wondered what we're doing here. Well, today I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm going to teach you about suffering and bliss. I'm going to teach you all about a little heaven and a hell and a God that gave me all of this. You see, God gave me all of this because I'm so humble. And he could do the same for you too. But if you are seeking his love and affection, well then what you are doing, man, that is the last thing I would do. You know, see, the good Lord, he sends killers to hellfire, both here and then again eternally. And the good, they live forever in a beautiful heaven. God told me that personally. So unless you want struggling and heartache, unless you want some trouble and some fear, you better find some kind of way to humble yourself. May I suggest helping me clean up a little bit around here? Of course, I could pay you just a little bit of money to do it, but more importantly, the good Lord would see. He would see that you was working humbly for something, and he would reward you the way that he has rewarded me. Well, nobody knew what to do with that information, nor could they prove that what he was saying was not true. And since he had what everybody else thought they wanted, Lord, it seemed like the thing to do. And with that, we've rolled into this future. And ain't it a son of a bitch to think that we would still need religion to keep the poor from killing the rich? Ooh, who you gonna trust if you can't trust me? Trust if you can't trust me. Ain't that some bullshit? Ain't that some bullshit? Good evening, my fellow American. Or shall I say, this afternoon? It would behoove me audaciously at this juncture in the inauguration to pronounce this particular congregation the single largest amalgamation of any one particular nation's population to ever receive an invitation to a situation of such enduring magnitude, notwithstanding any misunderstood grandstanding as it would pertain to the expansion of this national tantrum in such a grand or irrational fashion that I would implore you to explore a more tangible interpretation of our national anthem, the likes of which we could plausibly take platinum. So if you'll turn with me in your hymnals to the book of verbatim. Ain't that some bullshit? I say, ain't that some bullshit? Ain't that some bullshit? Ain't that some bullshit when you allow good men to die for your freedom, only later to recall them as having fought for your flag? Whoa, that's some bullshit. Henceforth and forthwith, fourscored way too many more years before the last first responder ever forgot to remember 7/11 or a more perfect reunion of our most effervescent endeavors, with or without the express written content of any international softball league's best political intentions to lure your children away from these lives of crime on the streets and lead them to lives of crime that would be taking place indoors. Lives of collusion, the likes of which no one has ever seen before, depending on what your definition of the word is. I say, read my lips. No new taxes. Wait a minute, though. I stand corrected. What I meant to say is if I am elected, I didn't say any of that shit. Ain't that some bullshit? Ain't that some bullshit? Ain't it? Oh, yes, it is. Oh, do that again. Again. Yeah, that's a good ending, I thought. And to mush the two songs together like a medley. And did you check that? Were you reading along? What that's like 4 drafts.
I got the first draft.
It's like I got it, but I was going, oh man, I took that out, didn't I? There's a bunch of shit in there. I was like, nah, I never said anything in there. Well, welcome back. This is turning into like a real, I look forward to these. I think we all do. This is a lot of fun. Only thing about going on the road that's going to suck is, but I think we're going to be able to do this. Yeah, we're going to try. If so, we'd have to do one in Houston. Boy, the set looks cool too. What's my sexy to shirt ratio? Is pretty good. Right? Let me know if I get, you know. This is one of my favorite ones. Hardworking Americans did this one a lot. I learned a lot about songs by watching these guys work up this song. Is this thing working? Is this thing on? Is this thing working? Is this thing on? In the hallway of high school, anywhere USA, was a bullet picking on a different kid. How it seemed like every day, a pack of back slapping buddies, laughing and backing him all the way, screaming girlfriend, making believe in everything he'd say. Is this thing working? Is this thing on? Is this thing working? Is this thing on? Well, then one day this kid who he'd beat up a bunch of time before, he realized to his own surprise, he said, I could indeed take more. And with that he hatched the evil plan, gonna make that devil pay. Walked up to him in the middle of the gym and he found the nerve to say, he said, if you're gonna hit somebody today, you're gonna hit me too. The fact that you gonna hit me every day, cause now I'm picking on you. And as crazy as that might sound right now, I ain't stopping till I get through. Lord, it's too late to beg for mercy. There ain't nothing you can do. Is this thing working? Is this thing on? Is this thing working? Is this thing on? Well, he just laughed and laughed, and so did all of his friends. He beat that poor kid unmercifully for what was like days and days on end. Only slightly less impressively, though, to that girl and all of his friends. Eventually, they would secretly start hoping that kid might win. Hey, this thing working? Is this thing on? Is this thing working? This thing on? You may never hear him say this. He thinks we don't know been in that battle every day. Cost our bullets the war a long time ago. And of all the scars he's got to show for every blow that kid sneaks in, the worst one's knowing that tomorrow he's gonna have to fight that kid again. Baby, is this thing working? Is this thing on? How is this thing working? I said, is this thing on? Is this thing working? How is this thing on? Is this thing? Is this thing? Is this thing? Is it working? Seems like it is. I can't tell, but it seems like going pretty good. I like this guitar. I'm gonna try to take it on the road if I can, but I don't know. That's a pretty dangerous idea for your for a guitar like this. Those big black ones are sturdy, man. All right, so I'm gonna do this one that I made up. Play with my fingers. I did it in our house was about 6 blocks this way, and in those days there was a lot of the helicopter would come down. We all knew that sound when and one time it was just happening like they were going up and down my street, and I thought, man, none of this happened, but I just sat there listening to that helicopter and typing. I was listening to a lot of rap at the time, so I threw the word fuck in there like 50 times without thinking about it, Now I take a few of them out. But I just did this almost in one swoop. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if I rewrote this much at all. And then I went over to Eric's and cut it. No. Also, if you're a guitar buff, I never really knew where to change the chords, so I just didn't, until the chorus. It goes, so it goes. Helicopters over my house again. Projects 2 or 3 blocks from here. They pull these kids over for driving wild African, and the ones that got a warrant all would run in fear. I sit here waiting for the coast to clear, wishing once again I had a gun around here. I turn on my news. What do I hear? Some kid shot the bank up on Galilee Road, ran away from the cops while he trying to reload. He beat them up to East Street on feet, and now it's probably reloaded and running down my street. I better turn my alarm on and lock myself in. A helicopter's over my house again sometime. You gonna rise above it sometime. You gonna sink below somewhere in between believing in heaven and facing the devil, This poor kid probably never had a chance to give a fuck. He wouldn't know good luck from a debutante. He's got to find a way to be Steve McNair, young bucker. He's a tough luck looking for a prison to haunt. And you can forget getting any kind of job you want unless you really want to work in a fast food restaurant. Who wants to do that? You want to do that? I would not trade that for my crooked hat or my whammed on my game or my waist full of pages for a job deep frying shit for richer teenagers. If that's where it's at, no one gonna help. How you gonna blame a kid from helping himself? There is a war going on. The poor can't win. I said helicopters over my house again sometime. You gonna rise above it sometime. You gonna sink below somewhere in between believing in heaven, baby, and facing the devil, That's where on the record Tommy Womack takes off right here. black and white cops shining lights in the bushes. I can't see how this kid's supposed to get very far unless he finds a way to make it back up there to Berry Street. And he can't do that unless he steals a car. I say the way things are, Lord, it don't seem right. It's always white people talking about hope and light. There ain't no hope in Sam Levy, there's just guns and drugs. We ain't building bridges, we just training thugs. And then I hear this terrifying kick at my back door. In walks this kid, I say, hey, I've seen this kid before. I see him all the time down at that bar on Woodland Street. And now he's bleeding in my kitchen, tracking blood off his feet. He's looking at me like I'm going to help him or die. Until he sees in my eyes I'm on his side. I hand him my keys, I say you better move fast. There's half a J in the ashtray and plenty of gas. He throws me the cash, he says, I'll be back for this. I say, yeah, well, don't be surprised if there's a little bit of it missing. His gold teeth glisten up with a big old grin. He said, we'll talk about that when I see you again. Shook my hand, shook his back. Felt like I was about to have a heart attack until they finally drove away. I thought, God damn, helicopters over my house again sometime. You gonna rise above it, baby. You gonna rise above it. But then again, on some other occasions, you may find yourself sneaking below somewhere in between believing in some kind of heaven and facing the devil you know. Yeah, you're facing the devil you know. Hey, thank you. Who sings better than me? No one. In unison. That's the sound of the crowd, Brian. They're not even watching. Cocksuckers. That was the one I was doing for Brian in particular. Man, I got this new shirt. It's pretty cool. Works out good. All right, let's do some other songs. Who else wants to hear something? I know what I want to do. But you know, I'm going to have to switch guitars for this one. I'm going to switch over to the black one if that's groovy. There he is. You guys are watching porn over there while I'm trying to do the show. Pretty soon we're going to be able to have guests, I think. What I heard. Oh, come on now. He. Yeah. Who sings better than me? My dad used to get drunk all the time and say that. He'd be like, you look so good tonight. He'd jack up all the words and then he'd say, who sings better than me? That makes me think of where I grew up out in on the rain of Portland, Oregon. And there was a lot of bands, and there's still a lot of bands there. Courtney Love is from there. Tanya Harding's from there. We're pumping out the good ones. There's also that band. What's that band I like so much? Not the one that got in the fight on stage in their movie, but the other one. The Dandy Warhols. I like those cats. I think I might have met one of them, too, at one of our gigs. But my main favorite group that's from Portland is the Kingsmen. There was a group called the Sonics in Seattle. There was Paul Revere and the Raiders in Idaho. And there was the Kingsmen in Portland. And all three of them had a version of that song, Louie Louie. And at the first of it, the band, Paul Revere and the Raiders, they shot up the charts. It was like number 13. And the Kingsmen version was like number 100. But then some kid thought he heard, when he says, I place a rose in her hair, a kid heard something besides that and told his mother. And his mother called the FBI. I shit you not. How would you? And they wanted to know. So they called up the band to ask them the lyrics. And this is a true story. They opened a file on this band. This just a college band. They were good though. If you get a chance, get their best of or something like that. Little Latin Loopy Loo, and they do Jolly Green Giant, and their version of Money is kick-ass. But this is the story about how their song went from number 100 to number 3, almost overnight, just because everybody wanted to hear that foul shit for themselves. It's like when the preacher says, I watched every second of this film twice, and I know for sure it's sinful. The Kingsmen came together in a garage. They could hardly even play. But they practiced night and day, and pretty soon they got to where they could really play that song, Louie Louie. So they saved up all the money from their shows, and they went into one of those studios, and they gave their version of that song, Louie Louie, a try. Now, I don't know the words to that song, Louie Louie, and I'm pretty sure that the singer for the Kingsmen didn't know them either. If he did know them, he didn't get them right on the record, because on the record, they're jumbled in his jaw. He says, me think of me girl, oh so constantly. I'll make ooh, oh. Well, that last part scared everybody from the PTA to the FBI. You see, the kids have been going kind of crazy lately, and it seemed like nobody could figure out why, so they decided to form a coalition and launch an investigation. You know, for the children, they figured they at least had to try to figure out the words to that song, Louie Louie. It's the feel good, the hit of this endless summer. It gets the kids out of control, singing along to that star-spangled bummer. Hail, hail, rock and roll. Marilyn Manson's real name isn't even Marilyn Manson. He's a skinny public high school kid from Florida, not some monster from out of this world. And like a lot of other skinny public high school kids, he was sick of getting beaten up by the pulling guard all week, only to go out on the weekend and watch the quarterback get all the girls. So Marilyn Manson formed a band, man. And now he still gets a lot of chicks. They're weird chicks, but they're chicks. A few years later, a couple of latchkey kids go tragically mad, and everybody's standing around the television store at the mall trying to figure out what went wrong. This guy says, you think the life of a kid going to school around here could have gotten so bad? And this other guy said, nah, it's just the words to one of them goddamn Marilyn Manson songs. You know, it's feel good. The hit of this endless summer that gets the kids out of control, singing along to that star-spangled bummer. I say, hail, hail, rock and roll. Every 10 years or so, our country and some other little country, we start filing all of our newest weapons at each other. For some reason or another, right or wrong, like it or not, it happens. And when it happens, people get shot. And when people get shot, they show that on TV a lot. And not just at 6 o'clock. You don't have to be 18 to see it. You don't even have to be in first grade. First grade, where they're going to teach a kid the pride they tell him he's going to need to thrive in a world where they say that only the strong will survive. So he's taught the art of more, to compare to and to keep score. Monday through Friday while he stares at the floor until Sunday they make him go to school once more. Only this time they make him wear a suit and a tie and listen to some guy who claims to know where people go when they die. Tell him that only the meek are going to inherit the earth. Well, shit, man. This time, how could anybody know what anything was worth? Now, brothers and sisters, I'm only one guy. I don't even know the words to that song, Louie Louie. But I can tell you right now, without batting an eye, that the next time somebody's latchkey kid goes wrong, it ain't gonna be because of the words to some song. And I'm not trying to preach to you either. I'm just stringing a few words together, too. Hey, kids. Well, let's get it on. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Yeah, that was fun. I'm gonna try it. This is a hard one. Let's see if I can play it. There's a lot of, this song is hard if you don't, I was hoping it would be like one of them, like The Sixth Sense. You ever see that movie? Where at the end you want to go watch it again? That's what I was trying to do with this one. But I mean, but so it would ended up being, I started it when I found out that one of my favorite groups is the Stones, for sure. And I found out, reading something about them one day, that Mick Jagger had been born on a Monday morning and that Keith Richards had been born on a Saturday night. And I thought, well, that just says, that's the deal right there, you know. And then I made up like a poem about it. And then I showed it to Don Was, and he said, man, you got to do a song called that. And one of the things is the key is that I don't know when it was, but there's supposedly at a certain point, Keith Richards started calling Mick Jagger Brenda, you know. So this song's called Brenda, and it's for Libby Welbus, if she's out there. Any other of my favorite Stones fans, Bobby Lee, Stacey Huckabee, Dan Baird. Met on a train going somewhere fast. He could see what she had right on. Together they built up an empire so fast that nobody and nothing could stop it. He looked like a man of the people. She looked high as hell at the ball. Of course, they made everybody jealous, but no one could touch him at all. It was a true love. Worked while the rivals was resting. They conquered the world and beyond. With each new insatiable ambition, it strengthened and tested their bond. He wasn't nearly as driven. She wasn't nearly as fun. But together they were quite a combination. When it come down to getting it done, oh Lord, it was a true love. It was a true love. They amassed unspeakable fortunes, and she still wasn't satisfied. So he set out to find what she wanted, and man, what a hill to be ride. They parked jet planes and castles, took every pleasure that they could. But good love comes with its troubles, and things wouldn't always be so good. You know it was true. Lord, it was a true love. There was a few times when he cheated. There was even a few times when they split. She helped him when he got arrested and put up with his drugs till he quit. 'Cause what mattered most was keeping that feeling. What mattered most was staying on top. Some say what's keeping them together so long is feeling afraid of how far they could drop. It was true love, baby. It was true love, baby. It was true. These days he's calling her Brenda, but that wasn't always her name. Yes, they'd both been through so many changes as they weathered all the pressure that came. Not long ago she nearly lost him. A better man might have been dead. But just when she thought he might be giving up, he was back up in business instead. Oh yes, it was his true love. It was true love. Tonight I'm sure he's out in some tavern, smoking and drinking it in. I'm sure that she's holed up in some office, crunching the numbers again. He's living it up while she's working. I guess that's just about right. Mick Jagger was born on a Monday morning. Keith Richards was born on a Saturday night. It's true. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, if you're keeping score at home, that one just goes G, B minor, A minor, D, over and over again. The hard part is all the words. What?
Nothing. I thought you wanted to play banjo next.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. Well, Brian Kincaid turned 44 not long ago. Wouldn't know what to do without him. What else can I tell the fine people, Brian? Big changes in the. We're gonna be playing again in June. Isn't that right?
That's right.
We're gonna go play in Texas with Jamie Lynn Wilson, and then apparently in August, it all gets back to normal. So, and we're gonna try to, don't get mad at us if we don't. But our plan, as it stands, is to take these out. So if you see one of these from Houston, you'll know we succeeded in getting all this crap on the bus. Now this song I made up with Will Kimbrough, who just put out a really great record. And most people who have listened to me sing have also heard him sing. We've been brothers for a long time, and in the early days of the first time I really got into a band, Will was the coach of it. He was the leader of it, which isn't uncommon. If you're a singer and you come to town with your band, maybe they'll try to get you to put one guy in there that's been on the road before. It was the best idea for us. He showed us how to tour, and just became a great friend. Writes all kinds of songs for Jimmy Buffett, tons of them, and a lot of other people. Wrote a song for Little Feat. Produced a bunch of my records, the good ones too, the Devil one and the East one. Anyway, one day we were on the road, and we had just, I forget where we were, but Epiphone, God bless them. To this day, they give me these guitars, and I could never thank them enough. They gave me this, But that was the first time they'd come to a show, and they had a whole truck full of stuff, and just told me and Will to go grab shit. And so I had a banjo, and he had a mandolin, and we were at a beach called Cape Henry, and we were going to go pick in the sand. And as we were heading to the sand, there was a historical marker, and it talked about this battle that had taken place, and all the people stood on the shore and watched. It had gone out a little bit out to sea. And so me and Will just really came up with this almost right off of the the plaque. Well, I served as a sailor, it was back in 81. Well, I can't say I'm sorry, I volunteer for what I done. We trained and we waited, Lord, we would not be outdone. And then one day, 6 battleships come out of the rising sun. We all manned our stations, and we passed the jug of wine. Waited with patience, Lord, we waited for a sign of first thunder, and then lightning, and then something in my ear. I can still hear that screaming even after all these years. Cape Henry, battlefield on fire, on water, white water, with them flames climbing higher. We fired a cannon, at least 2 hours or more. Cape Henry, off that old Virginia shore. Our deck was in tatters, that smoke was thick and black. For each shot they fired, oh, we fired 2 right back. Then I felt my shoulder, and then something knocked me down. The last I remember was that water all around. Well, I woke up in Richmond with a medal on my chest. I know that I earned it, 'cause I know that I done my best. We did lose that battle, but I heard that we'd won the war. So I headed back home and I awaited my reward. Cape Henry was a battlefield on fire, on water, white water, with them flames climbing higher. Oh, we fired our cannon at least 2 hours or more. Cape Henry, off that old Virginia shore. Cape Henry, off that old Virginia shore. Play it now. Stand on it. Well, I plow this man's field now from morning until night. That war took my left arm, I'm working with my right. I fought for the freedom of a richer man up north. Well, I'll still fight for something, Lord, this plow goes back and forth. Cape Henry, a battlefield on fire, on water, white water, with them flames climbing higher. We fired our cannon at least 2 hours or more. Cape Henry, off of that old Virginia shore, Lord, off of that old Virginia shore. Yeah. They say you can't play the blues on these things. I beg to differ. I'm about to give it a shot. Sending this song out to my dear friend Richard Lewis. This one also has a whole lot of words. The thing that sucks about only playing on Sundays, when I'm home, I don't sing these songs. I just sing songs that I hear. These have a lot of words, but so far, playing once a week makes it hard to keep them all up in my mind grapes. But this song, is dedicated to a guy named Daryl Adams, who was a folk singer from Portland, Oregon, traveled with Ramblin' Jack Elliott, and they made some great records together. John Prine told me a story once about Ramblin' Jack Elliott. He said they did a tour together, both bands in one bus, and Ramblin' Jack had a portable, like a camera that he carried around. And at the end of the tour, they were getting all these pictures by all these things. And at the end of the tour, John said to Jack, he said, "Man, could you get me copies of those pictures?" And Jack said, "What pictures?" And he said, "Well, you've had that camera." He goes, I don't have any film in that thing." Well, that's very Ramblin' Jack. All right, now let's get off of that and into this. I feel solo down. Oh. Well, this morning, and I realized I repeat myself. Yes, I woke up this morning and I realized I repeat myself. Yes, I woke up this morning. Yes, I did. They say 1 and 1 is 2. Well, I have my suspicion. I believe it may well be another one of these crazy old religious superstitions. Would you believe that the same financial institution backing both sides of every war since before the French Revolution, still running the Federal Reserve and all but just a small handful of nations? Why, it is a paperclip operation by even the most reasonable explanation. It may well be the single longest, widest Bronco chase in the history of the conspiracy of television is all that I'm saying. Well, it's 1 for the money, 2 for the money, 3 for the money, 4 for even more and more and more money. It's just like the seventh wonder was saying in seventh heaven, watching the seventh building falling on 9/11. This is Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Honeywell, and L3 Communications. These are the major corporations selling perpetual murder and mass destruction under the false flag of my protection from the shadow bench of a government still addicted to untold commercialization. While it would seem easy to me without too much hesitation how somebody could just wake up one morning and come to the Richard Lewis-like realization and or conclusion that there was absolutely no hope whatsoever left for even the smallest portion of our entire civilization. So zippity-doo-dah, motherfucker. Zippity-a. My, oh my, what a lovely case of the blues I'm experiencing today. Why, it seems like the air in my hotel room has been conditioned in just such a way. It seems like every single note that I ask this priceless banjo of mine to play takes the unmistakable sounds of my pains and my sorrows and makes them sound like some kind of hope for tomorrow. And that's not me, man. That's not who I am. You know, we mistake desperate people for the devil all the time. So there's no real way of knowing what kind of deal it was I actually signed, but it was my understanding that I would be the single greatest blues guitarist in the world by now, and to the contrary, I'm not. In fact, I'm just another fucking schmuck out here standing around waiting to get shot in another sad addition to an already sorry state of affairs with another set of politicians taken to the top of another set of courthouse stairs. You know that you're out of ideas when you get down to your thoughts and your prayers, but that's all I got for you down here this evening on these courthouse stairs. I tell you, they sending out their thoughts and their prayers. They're sending out their thoughts and their prayer for you. They're sending out their thoughts and their prayers for you. Allow 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, I got a black cat tooth. I got a mojo too. I got John the Conqueror. I'm about to mess with you. Big little women by my hand. World gonna know hoochie coochie man. Yes, I'm here. Everybody know that I'm here. I'm your hoochie coochie man. Everybody know. Oh yeah, yeah. Let's see. You know what? I want to play the piano. How's everybody doing out there? Guy Clark told me not to ask y'all how you were doing at the gigs. He saw me play a gig once and I asked how everyone was doing, and he told me to come over the next day. And when I got there, he said, man, why'd you ask all those people how they were doing? How were they supposed to answer? It made sense to me. Then he said, we don't do shit like that. And I thought, we? All right, I'm in. There was a time when I was handsome, Lord. There was a time when I had money to burn. There was a time when, well, I landed, Lord. That was the least of my healing. That was the least of my concern. But it hurts to lean back in these handcuffs. It's like 9 kinds of shame turned to rage. As a younger man, I might have put up a fight, but I just feel like such a fool in my age. A lot of this trouble just find me. Don't seem to matter which way I turn. How do you know when it's too late? How do you know it's too late? How do you know if it's too late to learn? You know the number one symptom of heart disease? Well, the number one symptom of heart disease is sudden death. It's like time stands still forever on you. Chest starts shaking around. It starts shaking around like some crazy old hooker on meth. And you know me, I can't take a lot of preaching. I don't like it on Sunday and no other day. But I feel like I ought to be praying or something, and I have no idea what I say. I say most of this trouble just finds me. Don't seem to matter which way I turn. How do you know it's too late? How do you know it's too late? How do you know it's too late to learn? I've learned nothing out here after all my years on this highway, but I'll tell you something, I've been passed by, and I've passed by more than my share of cars. And I do remember back in my younger days when I was so certain that driving even faster was what it was they were gonna get me for. So ain't nothing left for me to learn here. It's just this half full or half empty cup. Less than an ounce of possession, shit. I could do that kind of time standing up. A lot of these troubles, they just find me. Don't seem to matter which way I turn. How do you know it's too late? How do you know if it's too late? maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. Oh, big finish. Fuck yeah. I'll try something. Let's just start. I thought of this. Well, there's an overweight man with an overweight woman on a sofa watching TV. He's yelling his opinion at the television. She looks up from her food and agrees. They got 2 bumper stickers on their pickup truck. They keep that pickup parked outside. One sticker says, what would Jesus do? The other bumper sticker says, the power of pride. I was summoned through the stations on my own television when I came across this guy on a religious station singing a song I'd written called Somebody's Coming. Sounded wider than me somehow. It took me back in time through dwindling joy to when I was such a guilt-ridden young Catholic boy. I am an evangelical agnostic now. That means I don't know what I'm doing here. And you don't either. Now, Christians, don't walk out on me just yet. You know whose name I'm gonna be yelling when I'm clutching my chest. The same one my dad told his to and he told me to. And I probably pray as much or more than you do. And believe, shit, I believe every word I sing. But believing and knowing, well, those are 2 different things. If you're trying to change the way a stranger's life's gonna go, man, it wouldn't be a good time to stick to what we know, which is nothing, you know. Nothing for sure, so just chill till the next episode. Now back to the lecture at hand. Seems like my neighbor wants to kill what he can't understand. I say, you can't just kill what you don't understand, but I turn on my TV. I say, yeah, you can. We can, and we have since the dawn of man. For countless gods whose only real seeming plan is to see to it that clinging to life is our fate. And you got to admit, man, life is pretty great, but it's killing us. I'll be here all week. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy birthday, old country Joe. I resolve to do like I always do. I ain't hurting you. If life is anything, it's embarrassing, man. It's a rusty nail through a careless shoe. Right? You can't ever help but sit around and wonder sometimes why there's never anything that the nail can do. Or think about how unfair it is that shoe is just going where it's got to go to. If you ain't the spoiled little kid out running around, well, maybe you're just going to do what you're born to do. And Happy New Year, everybody. Happy birthday, Country Joe. I resolve to do like I always do. And I've only ever made it about a day or 2. Yeah, that was fun. I thought I could do that. What a terrific show we're having today. This is probably the best one so far, right? Let me use that one right there. See, this thing is... There you go. How's everybody doing? Feel free. Oh, don't we want to try to get them to say stuff in the computer? Yeah. Say a bunch of shit. Why? Do I get stuff?
Yeah, you get stuff.
Thank you to the East Nashvillian, Chuck and Lisa. They gave me that coat. Boom, Gypsy 101. You know what, though? I just can't wait to get on the road again. The life I love is making music with my friend. On the road again. I can't wait to get on the road again. The life I love is making music with my friend. I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. going places that I've never been, seeing things that I may never see again. Well, I can't wait to get on the road again, on the road again. Like a band of gypsies, we go down that highway with the best of friends, insisting that the world keep turning our way, and our way is on the road again. I can't wait to get on the road again. The life I love is making music with my friend. I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. Like a band of gypsies, we go down that highway with the best of friends, insisting that the world keep turning our way, and our way is on the road again. I can't wait to get out on that road again. I'll go in places I may never go again. I can't wait to get back out there. I got my first shot last week, but I'm not going to get the second one because I don't trust the government. Who turns down drugs? Jeez, the people I've trusted, I trust the government to give me drugs. If you could see the people I've trusted to give me drugs, you knew it wasn't a tough throw over to where all those politicians. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna switch guitars for this one. I remember it was thanks, Brian. It was a year, I don't know how many years ago it was, and I've been trying to work up a song that I wrote with Jeff Austin, but I didn't really write the song with Jeff. He was staying in a hotel in downtown here, and he wanted to write a song, but by the time I got there, it was pretty done. I just wrote it down. I tried to learn it today. I couldn't play it. It was called East Nashville Easter, though, and it was what hotel was that downtown? What was he doing here? I sure love that guy, and I miss him. He was like the Keith Moon of bluegrass. We're all gonna miss him. I love him. This is a song about the last time that him and I got to speak to each other. Well, you always knew that I understood. You knew I would say what I said. Had I known it would go the way it would, I would have said this instead. Sail on, my friend. Sail on into a new horizon. If you can't play that same old song again, I say let's just say you broke a string. Raise a toast to your health. You don't have to play or sing for anyone else but yourself. Sail on, my friend. Sail on into a new horizon. If you can't play that same old song again, I'll sail on. lay in paradise. Save a place for me. I don't know from good advice, so well, I just see you. When I see you, sail on, my friend. Sail on into a new horizon. If you can't play that same old song again, I'll say, sail on. If you can't play that same old song again, sail on. Yeah, I tell you, I was listening to that song. It's pretty coded. The song is. He wrote the lyrics mostly. Engines running hot, and I remember thinking at the time. I'll see if I can play this. I don't know if I know this. I'll see if I know this. But I remember when we were doing that, I was thinking this was what I thought he was feeling. Well, I woke up Sunday morning with no way to hold my head. It didn't hurt. And the beer I had for breakfast wasn't bad, so I had one more for dessert. Fumbled through my closet for my clothes and found my cleanest dirty shirt. And I shook my face and I combed my hair and I stumbled down the stairs to meet the day. I'd smoked my brain the night before on cigarettes and songs that I'd been picking. But I lit my first and watched a small kid cursing at a can that he'd been kicking. Across the empty street and I felt the Sunday smell of someone frying chicken. And it took me back to something that I had lost somehow, somewhere along the way. On a Sunday morning sidewalk, wishing, Lord, that I was stoned. Because there's something in a Sunday makes somebody feel alone. And there's nothing short of dying half as lonesome as the sound of a sleeping city sidewalk. Sunday morning coming down. In the park I saw Daddy with a laugh and a little girl that he was swinging. Stopped beside the Sunday school and listened to the songs that they were singing. Well, then I headed back for home, and some way far away a lonely bell was ringing. Like the that echoed through the canyons, like the disappearing dreams of yesterday. Yes, echoed through the canyons like the disappearing dreams of yesterday. On a Sunday morning sidewalk, wishing, Lord, that I was stoned. 'Cause there's something in a Sunday that make a body feel alone. And there's nothing short of dying half as lonesome as the sound of a sleeping city sidewalk. A Sunday morning coming down. Christopherson, man, one of the greats. I got to go One time I got to sit in a room with Chris and Guy and Billy Joe and John. Oh, dang. And then me, that was it. And then the free food. We're waiting to induct Chris into the Hall of Fame. My baby mother been incarcerated, otherwise she would have been here today too. To testify that every word I stated, while it may be complicated, it's true in the way you see this woman here today. I hardly even know her. Okay, maybe once or twice I might have given her a lift, but she never gave me any money, Your Honor. Every penny that she gave me, she said was a gift. She said that it was a gift. She said it was a gift. My baby mother been incarcerated. She had some trouble with an interstate cop. He said he saw her driving by obliterated. Was further frustrated by the way she wouldn't stop, so they called out all the other cops. Had a high-speed chase. Chased my baby through the side of a tree. That's when I think they might have planted marijuana in her suitcase. Court-appointed lawyer told the cop to please, so the cop they plead. Cop, please, my baby mother been incarcerated. I never had a lot of luck with the ladies, Your Honor. I never had a lot of luck with much of anything. My baby mother wanna drive a Mercedes, Your Honor. My baby mother wanna wear a bunch of diamond rings. She knows damn well I can't afford damn things. Baby mother been incarcerated. I'm kinda glad if I could tell you the truth, but that don't have a whole lot here to do with this matter. You see, this woman these days, she just don't have any proof. I don't know whose voice that could be there on her telephone recorder. Maybe brother or some other friend that's in on it too. Same old friend that came and helped her forge my signature. That is not my signature. I'm telling you the truth. I am telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. My baby mother been incarcerated. I understand about the verdict and everything, Your Honor. You're just doing your job. That's all right with me. Just one more thing before I leave. But can you tell me when this particular episode will be on TV? I'm gonna be on the TV, baby. Nobody suffers like a poor people suffer. Nobody suffers like a poor people suffer. Nobody suffers like a poor people suffer. Nobody suffers like a poor people suffer, no. Hey fellas, you know how come they never put a lid on a crab basket? I hear it's because them fishermen know that those crabs will keep each other down. I meet people out here on the road all the time, they in same kind of casket. I tell them, you gotta get out of that crab shack town. Come on up and see me sometime. Come on up and see me sometimes, hey fella. You know how people say you gotta know yourself to be yourself? I say that's easier said than it's done. I learned everything I know from somebody else. I don't see any reason why I couldn't end up just about anyone. Come on up and see me sometime, I said. Come on up and see me sometime. You won't regret it, I'll forget it. Come on up and see me sometimes. I said, hey fellas, you know how we got the best bars in the world right here in East Nashville? And sometimes I like to come down and get a little drunk in the afternoon. Why, by about 4:20, I'll be feeling so good, I'm about liable to pick up an old guitar off the wall and play somebody some kind of tune. I'm telling you what I say. Come on up and see me sometime. I said, come on up and see me sometime. Come on up and see me sometime. You won't regret it, I'll forget it. Come on up and, come on up and, come on up and see me sometime. Y'all, thank you again for letting me into your homes on this fine Sunday. I hope you had a good time. We'll be back next week doing this same old shit again.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey, Stacy Huckabee just came in. I'm going to leave you with this song. We got all these new songs coming. I think you've heard 3 of them. In a few weeks, we can hear them all. I hope you like them. This might be my favorite one. I'm sure I told this story before, but one time we had just taken like a 10-hour flight to Europe, and John Prine, myself, and his band, and we got off the plane exhausted, and we got into a car, and the car came out onto the highway and started going what John thought was the wrong way. And so John said to the kid, are you sure this is the right way? And the kid said, yes, it is. And about an hour and a half later, he said, oh, fuck, you were right. And I wanted to kill the guy. The band and the tour manager, they wanted to kill the guy. But John did not, genuinely didn't. It wasn't because of some self-help book he read. It was just him being on his square as the way he was. He said, it's all right. It's fun to drive around in Europe, you know? And that's the guy I feel like I know, you know? And then I remember on his last tour, the way he was dancing off at the end. I thought it was so profound. I feel like young people dance for a different reason than older people. When young people dance, it's sexual. When old people dance, it's spiritual, you know? Young people are celebrating being attractive. Older people are celebrating no longer giving a shit about whether or not they're attractive. Young people dance like they're ready for it, whatever it is. And old people dance like they're over it, whatever it was. And it feels like if you see a young person trying to dance like an old person, you can't take your eyes off it. If you have an old person tries to dance like a young person, it's hard to watch. But I don't know if any of you saw that last John Prine shows, but it was a great song. Without further ado, I want to play it. This is a song called Handsome John, and Joel, our cameraman, played a big role in this song, ending up the way it was as we were fooling with it. Started off reggae. I didn't know him as well as I tell everyone I did. Hell, he was nearly 50 and I was only a kid. But even way back in those missing years when he was still just catching on, there was nobody better than a handsome John. Oh boy, look no further for your real McCoy. Here come the singing mailman from Maywood, Illinois. Oh, oh boy. The next time I saw him, he walked off to paradise. Any way that I would say that I still take for advice for with a plain spoken word and a simple melody. You can see this world with dignity. Look no further for your real McCoy. Here come the singing mailman from Maywood, Illinois. Last time that I saw him, he danced off to Lake Marie. When I realized that I was crying out in tears of victory, for with a few still missing and this new one coming on, there was still nobody better than Handsome John. Oh boy, look no further for your real McCoy. Here come the singing mailman from Maywood, Illinois. Oh boy, oh, oh Well, I was in the army, but I never dug a trench. I used to bust my knuckles on my monkey wrench. I go to town and drink, and I give the girls a pinch, but I don't think any of them ever really noticed me. Father, forgive us for what we must do. Yes, you forgive us, and we'll forgive you. We'll forgive each other till we both turn blue. Then we'll whistle and we'll go fishing in heaven. My very first job, I said thank you and please. They made me scrub a parking lot down on my knees. But then I got fired for being scared of bees. They only gave me 50 cents an hour. Father, forgive us for what we must do. You forgive us and we'll forgive you. Then we'll forgive each other till we both turn blue. And then we'll whistle and go fishing in heaven. A fish and whistle, a whistle and fish. Eat everything that they put on your dish. And when we get through, we'll make a big wish that we never gotta do this again. Again, again. Oh, Father, forgive us for what we must do. You forgive us, we'll forgive you. We'll forgive each other till we both turn blue. And then we'll whistle and go fishing in heaven. We'll whistle and go fishing in heaven. We'll whistle and go fishing. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Keep America weird again. Put your foot on the rock and push it till the good time roll. Put your foot on the rock and push it till the good time roll. Here's to Colonel Bruce Hampton, may he rest the good Lord's soul. That's what them rodeo cowboys would yell when they was ready to go.
Turn me loose, I'll never play the same.
Yeah, that's what rodeo cowboys used to yell when they was ready to go.
Turn me loose, I'll never play the same.
It's like another way to say Eureka or Geronimo. Well, if a faith moves mountains, what's it take to leave them alone?
Turn me loose, I'll never play the same.
I said if faith moves mountains, well, what's it take to leave them alone?
Turn me loose, I'll never play the same.
Well, I believe these mountains get it round just fine on their own.
Turn me loose,
Until the tide turns over and come tumbling down from above.
turn me loose, I'll never play the same.
Until the tide comes over and come tumbling down from above.
Turn me loose, I'll never play the same.
I won't be moved by more than sorrow. I'll settle for a less than love.
Turn me loose, turn me loose.
You know you'll never make no difference if all you do is nickel and dime.
Turn me loose, I'll never play the same.
You know you never make no difference if all you do is nickel and dime.
Turn me loose, I'll never play the same.
If we can only help just one person, we're wasting our time. We've got to get to everybody. Got to get to everybody. Got to get to everybody. We've got to get to everybody. If we can only help just one person, wasting our time. Alright. We've got to get to everybody. Got to get to everybody. Got to get to everybody. I'm gonna get to everybody. I get to everybody. Turn me loose. Turn me loose. Turn me loose. I'll play guitar. Diary, day 2, song 2. We got a drum part.
some fake. Video diary, day 2, song 2.
Put your foot on the rock and push it to the good time roll. Put your foot on the rock and push.
Video diary, day 2, song 2. We got a drum part, and then I made some fake background singing. Okay, keep all of that and give me one more. Let's just take a minute.
Ready, come on, somebody. You better get ready, come on, somebody. One day a wise young man threw down his apron and he said, I quit. Is everybody ready for the get together? Is everybody ready for the get together? Day after, forever. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody.
I put my pants on 2 legs at a time like no man before me.
Come on, somebody.